What is going on, everyone? My name is Northy, and it is both late in terms of time and in terms of day, but I am here to do the round 19 team coach review and then the round 20 team coach preview for the AFL team coach season. Obviously, all of you who are constants for this series are probably very upset with me, but I have gotten everything done in time. I'm just not good with evening out my time and making sure that I get everything done. So here I am, a bit late, but nonetheless, I have gotten a lot done, and I'd like to show you guys what I've got for the week. So with that being said, if you find yourself enjoying it and want to show me some forgiveness, I guess, be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Everything is always very, very much appreciated, and I can't wait to have a look at what we did and how we're looking for the next week of football. Let's see what we've got. Here we go. So this is what round 18 looked like. So are we in round 19? Am I dumb and just got the rounds mixed up? I think I did. This is what round 18 looked like. You can see two dogs, a hawk and a crow in here. So some interesting things, but we're going to have a look first at our top team. This is the one that I'm finding out not just are other people struggling with, I'm struggling with. I meant to say that the other way around, but I'm struggling with it, and so are a lot of people. A lot of really good players in previous seasons are struggling with top team. I've only seen one. I've mentioned it before, Charlie the Sainter. He's the only one that I've seen do consistently well, and I'm not sure what I've got to do to get myself on the right end of things, because I'd love another top team prize card, but it just feels so difficult to do. But this is what the top 4 is looking like for next week. I will show you the ladder to show you what we did last week, because while I can't remember exactly how we did, I don't think it was great, because we were missing, I believe it was Bailey Smith, who we didn't have. But you can see here, there is no one in here that is remotely noticeable. I don't know any of them. The highest person in here has 5,000 points, so like top 4 was random this week, man. It was very tough to get one, so congratulations to all those who did. I just, did not get the luck that I would have liked, and I think it was because of Bailey Smith being out, I believe, for the round that it was. I'm trying to remember. I can't remember exactly who I even had. I'm not great when it comes to this stuff. I think it was Zach Merritt, maybe. Could have had Naz in there, but this is what it's looking like now. I know Grundy was in there too, but just a lot of confusing challenges that we had to come up against last week, and we'll have a look at our 18th star in a sec. But Ed Richards was the best last week, and he's coming up against a Brisbane team, so they're absolutely going to need him. I'm thinking more and more, maybe players play better when they're up against a challenge. The obvious exception to that is Brodie Grundy, because he is up against, from what I can tell, nobody. Tristan Sherry being out at North is just going to hurt for the next 3 weeks, so I'm very worried for how that's going to look for the end of the season. Nonetheless, Noah Anderson is going to have a very good matchup. They come up against the Crows, so he's absolutely going to need to show out. He did so against Collingwood. I'd love to see it again, Noah. Let's do it, mate. And Brian Myers is also taking the forward line position. I was thinking about some bigger guys, like a lot of people had Cadman and some of those GWS guys in, purely because they were up against Essendon, who are just absolutely killed with injuries at the moment. But Essendon did all right, and some Giant players didn't do as great. So Cadman was one that I remember off the top of my head. He didn't do too great, but Green did pretty good. Stringer was fantastic. Stringer will be up there somewhere, but obviously no Jesse Hogan either. So if you weren't paying attention to that, you definitely got stuffed by that one. But Brian Myers is going into it this week. He seems to be very consistent. I was thinking Luke Jackson maybe, but one, they're up against a team that has a good ruckman, I believe Collingwood, so that's going to be tough. And two, Sean Darcy seems to be getting playing time again. And look, maybe it's what's starting to work, I'm not sure, but I still think that Freo need to go with a Luke Jackson only lineup. So that all just means that Brian Myers takes a spot for me. I just didn't have faith in a Giants player, that's all. Let's now have a look at top 18. This is what we've got this week, and a few changes. So one of them being, I think, Dale. He is out, Whitfield is in. Very good pick to start things off. Cadman, on the other hand, not so great pick. As I said, he was the one that struggled. So should have put Green in. He's had some fantastic games as of late, so I thought Cadman would pick that up, and had a decent start, had a goal, 5 quick marks in the first half. I'm thinking, yeah, he could get himself involved, and then didn't do anything else for the rest of the game. So it's just the luck of the draw sometimes, and it sucks. But thankfully, one bad performance doesn't make the whole deal. So hopefully, as I look around here, Grundy feels like a lock. Zorko will be needed tonight. Richards will be needed tonight. So I think those two guys are going to do really well for me. Goulden I still trust. Dawson's been having a potential Brownlow season. Same with Smith. Brayshaw, I've been more comfortable picking him over Sarong as of late because they've been tagging Sarong. The games they haven't, he's burst out. But I'm just worried that if they tag Sarong, And if I pick him, I'll get done with it. So I've gone Brayshaw. Sarong has been really, really clamped down by tag, so I've gone Brayshaw because he doesn't seem to get the tag as much as Sarong does. Luke Jackson, he's obviously still in there. Rankin's still in there. Cozzy, I think he's going to have a fantastic game. Him just getting midfield minutes and being so effective with the ball makes it tough to take him out. And then, of course, we've got some Geelong forwards in there too, in Cameron and Myers, as we showed before. Maybe some surprises in here. I think maybe the biggest surprise is the Noah Anderson one, and probably the Cadman one. Don't know how many people expected that one, but yeah, it's unfortunate that Cadman couldn't deliver in a game he very much could have, and probably should have. But Whitfield, on the other hand, that's a fantastic turnaround. We love to see that. I'm interested to see what we did in terms of last week's. Last week's score was, if we wait for this one, 1562. So there's almost certainly some players that went out late, and I'm trying to remember off the top of my head who it was, but we definitely got done by it. You can see a lot of people in here who I don't think I've seen before, but the only one is this Rooter dude. He's got 30,000 points on the season, and he's the only one higher than me on this list. So I think a lot of the really consistent performers are not in here. I'm in the 21st position, by the way. I am one spot out of this big leaderboard. Damn it. I wish I was up there. Nonetheless, we're not going to worry about it too much. I've just got to really focus on making sure that my top team weeks are always over 1,800. You can see only 2 people had it, so it's going to be a tough ask. And I feel like at the moment, if I can do it in a week that I know people are going to struggle with, then it's a fantastic week. Unfortunately, the Cadman thing does make it tough, though. We're just going to live and learn, though. Hopefully, the rest of them pick it up. I'm sure there'll be some more fantastic performances in here that will make the weekend great. So that is top 18. Let's go have a look at star powers. So I think there's very minimal change in here. The only change that I was forced to make was Rosie. Now that I think about it, that's the one in top team that messed me up. Rosie. He was injured. Not anything to do with his play. He was going to play really well, but just hurt himself early in the 3rd quarter. Makes things a little tough. Nonetheless, you see Jordan Dawson still in there. Anderson has taken his spot as we put our faith in him in top team too. Grundy, because I think anyone who has a Grundy is going to use Grundy. We've also got Myers in the Mosquito because we've got him in our top 4 too. And Will Ashcroft, he still plays very well. I don't know how he did last. Yeah, 115. My goodness. Yeah, that is fantastic to see. So thank God we didn't pick Cadman like I've seen a few people in the Discord do. So I'm sorry to those people. Very sorry to those people who picked Cadman. Nonetheless, this is what the silver star powers is looking like. We have a check at the ladder. It wasn't this good last week. Obviously, Rosie, as I mentioned, he was in there, and since he went out injured early, it means our game kind of tanked around it, and it just sucks because we rank 81. You can see there while it still loads. 488, that is still a really good result, despite having a player basically go down halfway through the game. I'm not mad at it. I just wish maybe he stuck around. We could have seen the result we would have liked. Hell, I think in a half of footy, Rosie could have got, what, this was like 54 points? Absolutely, Rosie could have got 54 points. It just depends on how many other people go up with that too. So, it's unlucky. It's super unlucky, but I'm hopeful that this time around with the changes, really the one change I've made, and it's not necessarily a safe one, but I feel really good about it. You just got to come in confident, I think, with this stuff. Make sure your changes, you stick with them. I definitely could have changed Dawson out plenty of times this season, but he still continues to be one of the best every single week. So, although it's going to be a tough one against Gold Coast, I have a lot of faith in him. And then we're going to go and check the Ultra. Let's have a look at that. And some big ones that definitely are going to confuse some. Chad Warner is my double points explosive player. My thoughts were, right, they are going to have a fun time against North. Unfortunately, it's just the case. My other thought was maybe I just go here and check out McKercher and maybe see if he jumps in, but he's been getting the average of about 90 to 100, somewhere around there. And look, that's a safe option, but I think in a game where all the Swans players could realistically burst out for a fantastic game, I think Chad Warner is one to look out for. It's an absolute risk. I don't know how it's going to go, but man, I hope it does well. Dawson, he's been fantastic. I told you my thing about Brodie Grundy, and thank God I have his team star powers. Thank God. So I'm going to be able to use him and get the double points from him. So I think that's going to set me up really well. And then, of course, we stick with Myers and Ashcroft in those positions. So once again, feeling good here, but I felt good last week. And what did last week give us? We got ourselves rank 26. We were 6 spots off of a prize card in here. That one hurts. In total, we're about 23 points away. So again, I just think, Rosie, if you didn't get hurt, then that would have been a prize card. I'm almost certain of that fact, because I don't imagine 6 more people had double points Rosie in there. I don't know, man. It's just, I get so unlucky, it feels like sometimes. My season fantasy points is bigger than everyone in here. I'm rank 8. So, like, it was a tough one, it looks like, for the ones who were in this, like, area. So, I'm just looking at this. Benny Gann, this dude, had the same score. Jake, at 20th position, had 925. What are you doing up here? 925 for Jake. Where are you here? You're not even on the list. Are you on the silvers? Is that why you're not here? Where's Jake? I don't know where Jake is, but apparently he does not get a prize card. Oh, well. Sorry, mate. Nonetheless, it hurts when you're that close. It really does. I would love it. Look, it's not top team, but am I going to complain about a prize card? No, not at all. Look at all the potential prize cards I can get. Like, I've gotten, I think, most of these ones. Like, obviously, there's some that are missing in terms of top team, but if we have a look at star powers, like, I've gotten all of these guys. I've gotten Harley Reid too. I've missed Nick Watson, but that's the only one I've missed so far. And I don't want to miss any more, realistically. That's the way I want to look at it, but, I mean, we'll find out soon. Who do I want to go with next? We just gotta wait and see. I'm hopeful that maybe we can get ourselves something good in the Star Powers realm next week, but I want to look at Fantasy Forecast because this is slowly but surely becoming one of my favorite game modes, purely because the collection and the prize you get is so cool. I've loved the cards and the prizes you get for it. But let's have a look at what we had in the previous round. Round 18. You can see a lot of close ones again. Liam Duggan. I do not have many options in the West Coast area, right? There's not many players, so I thought, rank 3, we're so close. We are right there. How have we not gotten it? That would have been such a nice pickup. And then Nick Dacos, 20 off, rank 6. Oh, boys, that really hurts. I really wanted to see myself get that one because of the fact that Collingwood's is so expensive right now. Collingwood prizes in general are just ridiculously expensive, so it hurts. It very much hurts. But on the other hand, Horn Francis 7th, Liberatore 8th, so we had 4 different players in the top 10 overall rank, so I'm not mad at it. But then we look at the further end, Merritt was 75, we were 112 off for Nick Martin, but that was because of the fact that he had gotten himself hurt. So, like, oh man, it's a rough one for sure. I hate it when we get this close, and especially with Collingwood that close, that hurts. That really hurts. So 14 points off, 1 disposal, 4 marks, 1 tackle. Maybe we would have got lower with the marks, but it's always really coming down to the fantasy points margin. If you get that within the 10s, that's really good. Liam Duggan within 3, I thought, come on, surely. 3 disposals off, right on the marks, right on the tackles. You can't do that to me. That's not nice. That is not right. Either way, we got to move on. We got to keep going, but I have put in a bunch of fantasy forecast cards for this upcoming round in round 19, so I'm excited to see what those return. Obviously, it's hard to kind of talk you through the fantasy forecast really well every week because of the fact that I can't do them in the moment. It'll just take too long. It really will. So it's nice to have a look and see how close we were, but I've got a lot of entries now. It is a big list of entries, but it's got to happen sooner rather than later, man. I've got to get myself a Collingwood soon, man. And then finally, we're going to have a look at the tips. Now, obviously, I didn't get to the tips in time. I don't think it really matters too much, but I think, yes, because I didn't refresh it, it's still here. Lovely. If I were to have tipped any of these two, I would have tipped GWS like most people, Essendon's injuries. Tonight, Lions vs Dogs, it's just hard to go past the Lions with how the Dogs' track record has been, but it would be lovely to see the Dogs try and pip something off. Hawthorn versus Port. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going the Hawks in this one. It'll be interesting to see. Swans versus the Roos. Just less said, the better. Carlton versus Melbourne. Surprisingly, really exciting. I'm going to go Carlton. I think they have the chance to pick them off. But obviously that depends on them not like dropping their head straight away as soon as they see a deficit. They need to work hard. They've got the talent to do it. They just need to start getting things clicking. West Coast and Richmond. I am on the West Coast train for this one, despite the fact that Richmond have pulled off a nice win and being low on players and injuries and suspensions. I think West Coast are hitting a bit of a high point, despite their season being very low. So good on West Coast. Hopefully for them, they can manage to pick this one off. Geelong versus St Kilda. I'm going Geelong for this one, but Saints beat them last time. However, it was at Marvel. This one's at GMHBA. They just play better at GMHBA, so that's going to be an interesting one. Collingwood versus Freo. Now, I have a feeling that Freo can pick them off because Collingwood are in a bit of a strange situation. They're a fantastic team, don't get me wrong, and they absolutely are the favourites going into this one. But I'm going to tip the upset. I'm going Fremantle. I'm interested to see how the matchups turn out. They've got a decent backline, Freo. Obviously without Pierce, I think still, so that could be tough. But nonetheless, the midfield battle is going to be fantastic to watch. Oh, that's going to be a good game. And then to finish off, this is one of the most underrated rivalries. Like, two very underrated ones in Hawthorn Port and Adelaide Gold Coast. These two rivalries are heated at the moment. And for my tip in this one, I'm going Adelaide. They've been so strong at home. They're going to have the fans at 50,000 plus most likely. That's going to be a fantastic game. So if you're going, I'm jealous. That's going to be such an awesome atmosphere. And I really hope that this works out. Now, can I save this? I don't know if I can. If I can, that's hilarious because of the fact that obviously this is past the time that I can save it, but it looks like I'm not going to be able to, unfortunately, which is completely oh, never mind. Yes, I got one right and I tipped after the game. Fair enough, but last week, 5 tips is not fantastic. That is definitely not very good. We have a look around here. We had to get 7. Only one person perfect, and that's fair enough. Oh, let's see. What is this round going to bring to us? Bit of a slow start to it, but I'm excited to see what the rest of it brings. That is where I'm going to finish off today's video. Once again, a lot of fun being able to just chat football and do all of that with you guys. But let me know what your teams are looking like as always, and if you're continuing to enjoy the series and enjoy all the Team Coach chat, be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe as always. It's always greatly appreciated. Very close to 4.2k subscribers as well, so I would love to see how quickly we can push to the 5k. It would be great to see that soon, but nonetheless, I just appreciate you all tuning in and letting me yap for a bit. So appreciate you once again. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.